Alright, new project. I need bins for various scrap metal and scrap components, big bins. And so I was looking at these poly carts made by Rubbermaid. They're perfect, exactly what I need for the situation. They're $900 each. So, you know, I'm not paying $900 per cart, so we're going to make something out of this. Separated. And now we have some scrap metal to put in the scrap metal bin when it's done. Alright, it's clean. It's clean enough. Fight me. Alright, I cut out some 2x4s. Not too much planning here, just, well, we're going to wing it. And after we finish building it, we'll know how we should have built it. You know, I'm face drilling and drilling into the end grain on a lot of these projects, even though that's not extremely recommended, because, well, really, you just have to add some bracing and some support in these things anyway. And once I do, this isn't really going to matter. This is kind of just clamping for the wood glue. Honestly, I might try to recover this hardware. Anything that I mount into the end grain, I'll probably just pull out. But, yeah, that's an explanation of that. I guess maybe I'll show this last one also, because I'm accumulating error as I go around. And now I've got all of it left in there to take out. It's going to put a little twist in there, but again, it depends on what kind of project you're working on, whether a little twist is going to make some kind of big difference. I mean, you know, if you build a piece of furniture or something. But if I'm just making a little dump cart, well, it's not going to matter. You're not going to be able to. This thing's going to ride on 2 wheels anyway. So I'm going to get that just clamped out and pulled out and screwed, you know, so that it's all pulled right, and then I'll let you have a look at it. No, they're not flat, you know, in this direction, but they're mitered at 90 degrees very exactly, which is all that really matters for our purposes. Put the corners in there first, it'll hold it in better while I try to get the edges to lay down, you know? Alright. Okay, it's pretty light and pretty strong. If you were here, you know, I think you'd be surprised how light it is. It's a lot lighter than if I had put a piece of OSB on the top. I remember that from the vacuum cleaner cart. So we'll start with this. You know, if I was going to start making these, you know, like cranking them out, I don't think I'd use 2x12s for the corners. a bit more than is necessary. You know, it'd be lighter if I use 2x8s and a lot easier to cut on the miter saw. So, you know, in the future. And the twist is pretty minor. It's quite a bit less than the vacuum cleaner card. I think I can probably, I have lots of 60 grit sandpaper now, so just grind down those corners. I mean, if I even feel like I need to. This little dingus end here is getting in the way. I'm going to take a Sawzall to it. Alright, so kind of what I'm going here for is a wheelbarrow. It's going to sit on that bit like that, and we're going to have wheels out there toward the end, and hopefully it'll balance kind of leaning back, and put a handle, you know, coming up here, and some cross bracing across there to pull the sides in, and then we'll get some big fender washers and screw it into the wood in all kinds of different places, and yeah, I think that'll work well. All right, so I'm gonna have this cross brace come across here, and I want this to be a 90-degree angle. So the piece that comes up here needs to be about, you know, come off this the same length as this 2x4 does right here, and so let's measure that. So this comes out 28.5 off of this board right here. So I'm going to do another two 28.5 inch pieces to go up. And you know, this is kind of how I make things. Planning wastes so much time in a lot of things. I mean, a lot of times you have to plan, but something like this, you know, one step at a time. Like, is this serious right now? I took this piece of scrap and I cut 28.5 off of it. And look at this. The other one's 28.25. All right, so I think I'm going to get out the Craig and pocket hole. Attach that wood pocket hole. And going in this direction here, it will be supported by the cross member. Going that way, we'll make something. Make it just a tiny bit in from the edge because it ended up just a little short. So all right, nice and tight. Let's do the other one. Okay, that one was a bear. He apparently wasn't recording, but good enough is what it is. It's pretty close to where I want it. It's drilled and screwed and glued and ain't going anywhere, I don't think. All right. Well, but it's pretty square. I checked the square. And let's put the container in there and see how it fits.
Daddy. Daddy!
That's right, Daddy's baby. Let's see if this old girl goes in here, huh? Beautiful. It's beautiful. You know, maybe I should put the wheels and the handles on it first or something, but this is the part I really want to do. So, let's do it. Alright, so I'm going to go for the strategy of more material on the sides where I have less structure. So out on the end here, I'm going to go all the way to 8 across. And then up the sides for a little ways, I'll keep the 8, you know, until I get to about where the structure starts, you know, where there's some wood. And then we'll start a transition down to a much lower number where there's more support on that side of the container. All right. New readings. Just eyeballing it like that before wasn't really going to work. Okay. Let's go out to the end of this little hump.
Daddy, I'll wait for you.
There's my radius. There we go. Radius. Alright, my footage wasn't the best there. I was too focused on trying to get all this right. But it comes 7 inches off the side here. And 7 inches off here. All the way back to here where the wood starts. Where the frame down there starts. And then it starts gradually tapering down to 3 inches off the side. And it goes all the way and it intersects down there with 3 inches off. Seven fasteners in total. None of them are all the way on the bottom, so I'll drill some holes down there for water egress, and yeah, they shouldn't ever be sitting in water, you know, in most situations. Okay, so I want to find a way to use milk crates as feet, because, well, I want to keep wood off the ground, you know, and so I use different materials. But a polymer is probably going to resist moisture the best, right? So I'm thinking I'll make some shape where it goes along here, and then we'll take some of the spikes going this way and some of the spikes going that way, and all of this bit, and come to a point right here, and that'll be 1 foot, or maybe I'll probably make it flat right there, but that'll be 1 foot, and then on the other side I'll do something similar. Or I might follow this line here and then flatten it there. But anyway, you get the gist. So I think we come right up here. Yeah. There we go. Alright, so I threw these handles together, in a few minutes just to test, and because the garbage man was coming and I wanted to carry the garbage out to the curb in this thing. But they didn't really work. My face is all up in the trash can. They need to be longer. So, and I glued them in. So, time to get out the chisel. So, it's bigger than I'd like it to be, but I don't want to sit there and sand as much as required. And I still want to have a lot of strength, so I don't know. Maybe I'll adapt this more in the future. For now, I'm going with this. Alright, so this isn't going to be the greatest connection in the world here. So I'm going to put a lot of glue, and I'm going to put probably 4 fasteners. Pre-drill them and chamfer, and just go the whole 9 yards with this to try to make this connection as solid as possible. You see I've already built this up a little to give it a little more meat. And, it'll be good enough, but this is probably going to be the weakest part of the cart right here. If I wanted to, I could glue a little piece right there like that, because this is the direction that it's weak. I mean, it's going to be strong in this direction because the wood glue, is making flat contact that way. It would be, you'd have to shear the wood glue, and that wouldn't want to go. So, but a force applied at that angle could break it, but that's not really how the cart's going to be used. I mean, it has weight in it, and you lift it up, it's going to be, it'll be a shear force against the wood glue. So, I don't think that's necessary. Wheels from Amazon, and some of the cheapest ones. 8 inches across. They seem nice. I don't know. They seem good. A lot cheaper than Tractor Supply. 3/8 inch carriage bolts. I ended up just switching to a Forstner bit. Anyway, these going to use these carriage bolts upside down so that this soft part rubs on the here, so it's going to come up from underneath. All right then, that's done. I think it might actually be a little better for my purposes than the $900 Rubbermaid alternative. Let's go pushing around. You can see when I stand up with it, it's level. That's what I want. When I lay it down, it's just right for it to drain. And it even does this deal, which I think is nice. If you want to get in there and don't mess with the contents, it sits real nicely like that. So I'm pretty happy with this.